Hello, Jane. You know, I felt very disoriented this morning when I stepped out of the house. It felt so mild, and, you know, it feels more like September across many parts of the country right now. The weather does tend to change. The rain comes and goes. But as far as the temperatures go, up to 21 degrees in one or two spots across the southeast, and once again 17 in Edinburgh as well, all down to this current of warm air that's spreading in from the south, not just over us, but many parts of Western Europe. In France at the moment, in some spots, temperatures are in the mid, maybe even high 20s in one or two areas.
Hello there, good afternoon. Well, it's set to stay unsettled for the rest of this week across the capital, and also very warm for this time of year. Remember, the October average is just 15 degrees Celsius. Now, already this morning, a mild start to the day, some outbreaks of patchy rain and some sunny spells emerging as captured by our weather watcher Maya here in Clapham. There will be some more sunny spells as we head through the rest of the afternoon. It's now looking largely dry.
Hugh, a big number weather day out there today. 21 degrees Celsius, the top temperature in London. This is not just southeast England warmth at the moment, quite widely. We've been into the high teens today, so 18 in Blackpool and Edinburgh. Second column here is the average for the time of year, the long-term average. Clearly, we're well above that. We will be for the rest of the month. And of course, we have a dilemma now. Concerns about climate change, short-term benefits of not having to have the heating on as much with temperatures as high as this. And you must know by now we are dragging the air in from a long way south of the UK. Along with that, though, with low pressure anchored to the west of us, we are seeing spells of wet and windy weather out there.
Hello there. Hope you've all had a lovely day so far. Well, once again, it has been unseasonably warm across the capital throughout this afternoon. Bearing in mind at this time of year, we usually expect daytime highs up to around 13 degrees, whereas some places have been up to around 21 degrees this afternoon. This is usually what we expect in the summertime. And you can see we hold on to that warm air as we go through the next few days.
Well, the weather is looking lovely out there, and you may have noticed how unseasonably warm it feels as the capital continues to experience its warmest end to an October in 8 years. So what is going on? The man to shed light on this is the BBC's weather's Nick Miller. Hi, Nick.
Hi, Russ.
So why is it so mild at the moment?
Well, we have had warmer ends to October. This is the warmest in 8 years, as you mentioned there, but it's not usual. I mean, 21.3 in Kew Gardens, the top temperature today, compared with the long-term average of 14 degrees. So we're well above where we might expect to be at this time of year. So what is going on? Let's take a look at the pressure pattern and find out what's occurring. We've got high pressure across a large part of Europe, the flow of air around that clockwise, low pressure to our west, the flow around that anti-clockwise, and what we are bringing up, therefore, is the air from the south around those two pressure systems and from a long way south of the UK as well. And whenever you see something like that, you know it's going to bring us some warmth, and that's clearly what we have at the moment. And it's a stuck weather pattern too. We've been like this for a while, will be for the rest of the month before a gradual cool down next week.
OK, so that said, to what extent can this be attributed to climate change?
Well, we have natural weather patterns that can give us warmth at this time of year. They can make it cold as well. Actually, it's more unusual to have a temperature which is right on the average. That said, there is some evidence to suggest stuck weather patterns, something that stays around for a while, with warmth, for example, can be down to climate change influence on the position of the jet stream. There is more evidence to show that when you have a warm weather pattern, the temperatures are higher than they would be otherwise without the influence of climate change. And that's what climate scientists say happened during our summer heat wave. And this is a prolonged warm weather pattern across the UK this year. In fact, we are running at the warmest year on record so far for the UK. You have to go back to May last year to find a month which was cooler than average.
Really? Does that mean it sort of pushes winter a lot further into our spring, for example?
Who knows what's going to happen several months ahead? We may make up for this at some stage.
It's not often I have you here, so I'm going to ask all my questions.
Yes, we may make up for it, but clearly what we are in a situation now is that we are delaying the arrival of the cold weather, and there's still nothing significantly cold in the forecast as far as I can see anyway.
OK. Nick, for now, thank you.
We've talked about the warmth, of course, 21.3, the top temperature today at Kew Gardens. Of course, we're getting some spells of rain occasionally too. It was a rather cloudy first part of the day, damp as well, but then it brightened up through the course of this afternoon. And we are going to see a little bit of rain every now and again over the next few days, but lengthy, dry and bright spells too. And it will continue to be very mild, quite blustery at times as we go on through Friday and the the weekend. This is
Welcome back. Spooky news perhaps for those preparing to celebrate Halloween with a carved pumpkin lantern. The summer heatwave and drought has massively reduced the pumpkin crop. Lucy Verisami has the weather for us from a pumpkin farm near Maidstone in Kent. So Lucy, what have you found there?
Mary, I've spent a lovely afternoon here in the heart of the Kent countryside, a 25-acre pumpkin farm. Kent, of course, is the Garden of England, and it's been a glorious sunny day, a near perfect autumn day here. Temperatures peaked at just over 20 degrees. It's been a remarkably mild October following a record-breaking hot summer. And I spoke to pumpkin farmer Charlie earlier to find out how this weather has affected this year's harvest.
This summer's been an interesting one. It's obviously been very, very hot and incredibly dry. So what tends to happen is the seeds, a pumpkin seed will produce up to 3 or 4 fruit per plant. Due to it being so dry, it's only putting all its energy into producing 1 fruit per plant. So we're getting one really lovely fruit. So we're getting good quality, but not as much quantity.
So with fewer but better quality pumpkins this year, it's not only families going pumpkin picking and getting ready for Halloween next week, foodies have been getting in on the action as well. I learned that squashes and pumpkins last for up to 3 months, so perfect for winter warming recipes as the temperature begins to drop. No sign of that just yet. The temperature's staying very mild for the time being. Well, it's been a remarkably mild October so far. We're on track for seeing one of the mildest Octobers on record, both by day and by night. It's been almost frost-free for all of us, and temperatures peaked at just over 20 degrees today, can you believe? By no means wall-to-wall blue sky and sunshine. We've got blustery winds as we end the week, a good deal of clouds, some rain to come in the next 24 hours, but all the while those temperatures miles above average for this time in the year. So that's it from me here in Kent. It's been a very mild day, a similar theme into the weekend before things change into next week.
OK, Lucy Verisami, thank you.